All right, wonderful. Wonderful. I just recorded 15-minute video and I just realized not until afterwards that I had set it to like 24 frames a second. Go me. Anyways, we're going to do this, but now I know because now it's going to be quicker, I think. Let's do this. Okay. To start, parkour. I'm not good at it. So, let's do this. I'm going to kind of explain a little bit of kind of like what the main technique is, and then I'm going to explain, kind of demonstrate, go back, you'll see. So, to start, let's just say this is your LUX platform. Ta-da! Right? And LUX platforms, their hitboxes are actually a lot more kind of like this. Ta-da! That's what I think of it as, right? Whether or not I'm right or wrong, who doesn't matter. All that matters is that you're kind of getting the concept, right? All right, next thing. This represents you. This is you. Whoops, no wait. This is you. Next, this red represents your hitbox for when you get your jump. Like what this has to make contact with the platform in order to get your jump back. Right? All right. So the whole idea of what we're doing, there's a lot of names for skips and parkour. The skip and parkour that kind of gets you the speed to get on top of the leaderboard. It's called pixel skip. It's called pickle skip. It's called slide skip. It's called sliding pixel slide. You get it. This is what it is, right? Okay. Here's the gist. Here's your platform. Ta-da! Here's you. Now what you're trying to do in parkour is there's a few things to try and get a fast time, right? The first, when it comes to doing these skips, is you want to not hit the platform. You want to basically slide off the side, still get your jump, and so you can jump and push yourself off the platform hitbox. Let me show you. So, it's going to kind of look like this, where you're jumping and you are landing essentially to the point where your this red box, that resets your jump. It reset your jump, but you didn't hit the platform. You kind of barely missed it, right? Jump reset, you barely miss it. Then, as that just happens, you're jumping, and one way or another, your part of your hitbox pushes off the platform, which then gives you essential forward momentum. That's how I think of it. I could be completely wrong, and I probably am wrong, but it doesn't matter whether I'm wrong or right, because it's the concept that matters. Woo! All right, examples. Go me. I'm rocking it. 2 minutes 50 seconds in. All right, let's show this off. So, along with a few other tips for parkour. To start, general tips for parkour, because I'm gonna forget if I don't. Your model, your little cute little avatar matters, right? Your model, it basically determines. I'm turning down the music. I feel like I can't think. Okay, your model basically just determines how easy it is for you to do these skips. Your hitbox doesn't actually change. However, it's a lot easier to line it up and actually perform these skips, right? And I'll show you why. The best way I think of it is you're trying to essentially land your character just barely. You're missing this part of the hitbox, right? See how they extend off the platform slightly? That's the whole idea. Is this, right? Is you're trying to barely like skim that edge of the hitbox, and then as you do, you get your jump back, which then you can, jump, because you get your jump when you fall off platforms. Ta-da! Didn't know. And that's what's gonna give you that boost is when you jump after you just barely got that jump, and it pushes you off the hitbox. Okay. And some models, such as Blorgnob, I love him, but he sucks at this. Look how big he is. He's a big boy. He's my big boy. Right? But it's a lot harder to actually do this because he rolls. Animations are weird. Hello. So, you get that. Some other ones that are good, the basic aliens are good. These are great. Even Reaper's great. You also, a very popular one is Orion. Orion's good. Stitch is good. There's a lot of fun little dudes. Right? You get the gist. I like to do it, and here's essentially the next thing. When you're doing parkour, you want to always start essentially on the very furthest right of the starting platform. This is because if you started here and started walking over to the right side of the map where the finish is, it's going to take less time than if you started here, right? That's common sense. Your time does not start until you leave the platform. When you jump off the starting platform for the first time, that's when your timer starts. That's good to know, because that means you don't have to worry about like lining things up. You can just jump up here, line things up, do whatever you want, right? Next, you always want to land on the furthest left of the finishing platform. That means you're finishing as soon as possible, and I'll show you what that means in just a moment. And then third, you're trying to do pixel skips, right? The whole time. That's the whole goal. So how you do that is, like I demonstrated in the Microsoft Paint, is you're trying to hit the right side of the platform. Now, these are not consistent. No one really can pull these off all the time. You can get better at them and kind of learn when they happen more. But the way I do it to land them semi-consistently is just no matter the platform. If you can land on this far right, just always try. No matter where, always try to land there. And sometimes you actually just accidentally do it. And then as you do that, you'll kind of learn how to do that more consistently, right? So you're going to continue to do that. You jump through the course. Ta-da, what do you know? You're jumping. A big thing as well is hold S, hold down. You want to fall quicker, because if you're just jumping and not doing this is going to take harder, because sometimes you're going to jump over if you don't hold down, or you're going to have to stop. You're going to jump and then you have to wait and stop and wait, right? Don't do that. Hold down, so that way you can keep holding right and keep moving. Basic common sense stuff, right? Now, on to the actual skip part. As you're actually going through, just continue to land on the right side of the platform. I always hold down to kind of time it, right? I look at my back left leg of the character, and I hold down right when I think I'm gonna, like, if I hold down, I'm gonna hit the edge of the platform, and then I jump as soon as I think I hit the platform, right? You just keep doing that, and sometimes as you do that, you'll just end up doing it. So I'll do some and I'll call out when you'll be able to see when I get that boost. Like right there at the start, I got a small one. Some of them are like right there. Some of them are bigger, some are not. So you'll just, if I just keep doing this, and you kind of just get lucky on some of them, and sometimes you're not so lucky, and sometimes you fall. But that's okay. That's the risk with the strat, is a lot of times you'll fall off, but you just kind of start again and keep going. There was a small one, right? You're just gonna keep landing on the edge. Sometimes you mistime it, that's fine, but you're gonna continue to do that just over and over on as many places as you can, right? That's how I'd recommend starting. Eventually you start learning, I'm like, okay, I shouldn't try to go for it on this platform, because I might overshoot the next platform. If I did it on this platform, I'd likely overshoot this platform and not make it to the next one. Or maybe if I got a really good one, I would. But you determine that risk as you go. Ta-da! Alright, so you do that. So, step one, have a good model that is easy for you to see the outline of your legs and easy enough for you to control. Step two, start on the furthest right of this platform. I always do it by jumping like this. That's kind of my thing. Sometimes you can even get boost off, like a pixel skip off the starting platform. Always good. Step two, literally throughout the entire course, this week's Nexus is great at practicing. It's very flat. Just every single one, just act like it's the starting platform. You're always just trying to land on that far right side anytime you can. And as you do it, you hold down to get, so you don't have to stop on platforms. You hold the S button whenever you need to time that fall. Boom, boom. Just keep doing that. And sometimes you'll get lucky, sometimes you won't, but you'll get some of those pixel skips, right? Now I'm gonna get to the end of the course, so I can do the step, I think 4, and then that's pretty much it. So you're gonna do the pixel skips, many as you can, and then once you get to the end, this is step 4. Right here, like I said at the beginning, you want to land on the furthest left of the finish platform. Obviously, it's going to take a lot shorter time to land right here than it is to just jump and land over here, right? If you're landing over here, it's not as quick, because that's unnecessary movement to the right. You want all of it to land right there. Like sometimes you even miss that end platform because you're trying to land on the furthest left of it, right? I know this is all dumbed down and you probably know a lot of this already. It's 2D platformer. It's pretty self-explanatory if you're trying to go fast. Some of it you're kind of like, you may be like, oh, that makes sense. I didn't think about it that way. Anyways, so when you get here, always just try and time your jump to where you can get above and perfectly, like right when you know that you can hold down to start falling faster, you hold S. The moment in this jump to the final platform that you notice that, hold down. And also, final platform. There's no point you should be jumping this high to the final platform, like here. Sometimes the final platforms are way higher, but basically you also want to come off this platform as low as you can so you don't actually uh, take unnecessary height. So what I would do on this one, like I would I jump here and fall right there. Like just like that. As soon as I can. I'm not going to jump over here because that's unnecessary height. I'm jumping earlier because I know I don't need that much distance to get to it from the final platform. Um, there's a lot of different techniques to finish. Some maps, you may notice that just how the platforms are laid out, you actually skip the ending platform, and then it's the second to last one that you'll like fall off, and then you jump to it like this. Same thing, but the whole point is you want to land on that furthest left point of the finishing platform, and typically you want to do as many of those edge skips in between. Uh, and as a general rule of thumb, typically, not always true, but most of the time, if you are not uh, like the less amount of jumps it takes you to get to the finish, the quicker. It's not always true. It really depends. It just depends usually on like the finishes. Sometimes like the platforms just keep going up, but because you're so high up, you could just fall off one of the platforms and jump to the end, right? It kind of depends. Usually you can kind of just gauge it by looking. But after that, you land on the that far edge right here, and that's it. So it's kind of those four things. But as I said in here, skim the platform. You're not supposed to actually land on it, but you kind of just almost imagine that you are. But since you're holding down to fall faster, as soon as you think you would have landed on the furthest right, just jump. You don't have to actually time it like, oh, jump when it's halfway up your body. No, just jump. And half the time you'll do it. Sometimes you'll get some really good ones and you fly. Sometimes you just get a small one. But the more of those you get in there, the faster you end up being. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's parkour. I'm not good at them, and as you saw, I'm not consistent. And even people who are really consistent at being on top of the leaderboard aren't that consistent from what I know as well. It's just all a matter of getting the most amount of attempts as you can. And like I said, for me, just land on the furthest right of every platform, and sometimes you just end up getting one of the boosts. So that's enough rambling from me. Nice. Yeah, that's it. Peace.